a folk tale, really. But basically, around 1801 in Wales, supposedly, there were two lighthouse keepers, both named Thomas, who manned a lighthouse called Small's Lighthouse. And one Thomas was older, one was younger. A storm came, they got stuck on their lighthouse station. The old one died, the young one went crazy. And I thought, that's not too bad. I can work with that. And the fact that they were both named Thomas, I thought that it could be an interesting story about identity that could devolve into some more obscure areas. Obviously, like, it's not just about identity, this thing, but, you know.
So what are some of the other areas, if you would highlight them?
Oh, Willem is better at that than I am.
Sure.
No, I think it's going to mean different things to different people. But, you know, when they are, just stripped of who they are in the process of not knowing when they're going to get picked up, not knowing how they're going to survive, not knowing what their relationship is to each other. They act out all these kind of strategies. And when you're watching the movie, at least when I am, I think, wow, you know, they try these different strategies in these different relationships. Sometimes they're almost like father and son. Sometimes they're like boss, you know, employee. Sometimes they're almost like lovers, you know. It's all over the place. So for me, it brings them to a place of real kind of elemental, basic survivor instinct when the personality is taken away.
And, you know, as I've often said, nothing good happens when two men are left alone in a giant phallus.
Up for debate. Okay, so this was written, you were trying to get The Witch off the ground, right? So this didn't start after The Witch came out.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wanted to finance a movie in early modern English about a bunch of pilgrims praying, witch or no witch. So it was not easy. And my brother, when I was feeling quite depressed, mentioned to me that he was writing a screenplay about a ghost story in a lighthouse. And I was more depressed because I thought, that's a good idea and I wish I had it. And but when he said that, I immediately pictured this crusty, rusty, dusty, musty, black and white atmosphere of this movie. The cable-knit Guernsey sweaters, the stump of the clay pipe, facial hair, salt cod, blah, 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 blah. And that's not what my brother was writing, but that's what I pictured. So eventually my brother said that his thing wasn't going so well, and I asked if I could take a crack at it, and that's when I discovered the Thomas & Thomas Smalls lighthouse story. And I spent quite a bit of time working on this. I knew that there needed to be a mermaid. I knew there needed to be a mystery in the light. I knew that there needed to be a lot of fart jokes. But then, you know, RT features came along, and I actually got what I was trying to do with the Witch, and that happened. And then the Witch, with all of its boring pilgrim praying, somehow found an audience. And I had doors open, and I was trying to develop some larger things I had written. But I called my brother up and I said, look, we should write this lighthouse movie together. It was your idea in the first place. And I want something smaller in my back pocket just in case.
And now you guys came together, you have something in common, which is Nosferatu. Sort of.
Well, yeah, if you put it like that.
Do you want to explain what I mean?
We both like Nosferatu. Dafoe played Max Schreck in Shadow of the Vampire, and you know, it's funny. I mean, I can do this, but you know, we were doing this in the last Q&A, and I realized it's like a weird compliment to myself in a messed up way. But so Dafoe. You know, he was, you know, I didn't think that the Witch was going to find an audience. He was one of the audience members. He wanted to meet with me, which was totally shocking because he's such a hero of mine. But then I've been saying that when we got to talking, I realized that we were kind of on the same page. And so then that makes me sound like a schmuck. but the thing is, Dafoe's performances in so many of his movies were so important to me growing up that I really think it shaped a lot of the way that I think about the work that I do. So it's not surprising that we got along, but a lot of that is because of me growing up, like drinking from the fountain of Willem Dafoe.
But you did admit that you were working on a Nosferatu reboot.
I was working on a Nosferatu reboot. I spent many hours and years and blood and anyway, whatever. We don't have to talk about that.
Okay. Well, I think we all want to see it if it ever happens.
Well, thanks. So does my mom.
So in a project like this, it's so meticulous, it's so beautiful, the attention to detail is just, I think, your calling card now. People are expecting it. Did it start with the script and then you put a lookbook together, or you just start pulling these images together? How does it work?
It's in tandem. I mean, I don't have a solid lookbook until the end, but I'm collecting thousands of images along the way, and then I put the lookbook after the script is done. Put together the lookbook. But yeah, I mean, as much as I'm reading texts, or my brother and I are reading texts, an image of a period lighthouse station that you would need for the production design can also inspire a scene. We were constantly seeing all these boathouses with these long runners, and we thought, well, we're going to have to do something with that. And so then we have Pattinson trying to run away, and Dafoe and Axe, and the whole thing.
Okay, well, first of all, your voice for this character. I'm listening to you now, I'm trying to, it was a lot gruffer. You did things to your voice, right?
I think, you try to fit in, you try to be in the world, you try to inhabit something. And it's a funny thing, it's like, I notice, I speak Italian. When I speak Italian, the tone, where I place my voice changes. You calibrate, it's like you got a fantasy in your head, and you got to tune things. So like when you're working on this, the very beautiful text, you try it, you try different accents, you want to have an accent, because the text really requires it, and you play around until you find a sweet spot where you say, yeah, I feel like this is the right sound. So that's really what you do. So yeah, I guess I make it rougher. But I don't think about that. It's really like, I got the beard in, it all works together. You got the beard, you got the pipe, you got the clothes, you're in that place, you got the smells, you got the lighthouse, and then all of a sudden, you can't talk like this anymore. No, it's really true. All those things tell you what to do. And they tell you what to do not in a way that always makes sense to you. You kind of play around with some things and then you say, oh yeah, that's the groove.
Was the beard yours, or was that...
The beard was absolutely mine, every single hair.
That's impressive.
Actually, I look at it and say, did I grow that?
Very impressive beard. Now, one thing that really kind of blew my mind, the lighthouse looks like it's been there for hundreds of years, but that was created from the ground up for the film?
Yes, every building in the movie was made for the movie. And that's how I would have wanted to have done it. That's how I sort of pitched it, because I wanted absolute control. But it was not particularly cheap for a black and white movie, so I needed to try to see if I could find a lighthouse that would work. And there was no lighthouse that worked for us that had good road access, and you need good road access if you're gonna make a movie. And so we found instead the most punishing, inhospitable piece of land we could find with good road access to build our lighthouse station.
And this was in Canada?
The southern tip of Nova Scotia, Cape Forshue, which was off of the fishing village of Yarmouth.
Sounds authentic. And doesn't it have like a history of death and danger on this little rock?
Yeah, I mean, Captain William Flower, the Marine coordinator, said at a production meeting, slamming his fist on the table, people have died in Cape Horseshoe, and which was true. You know, it's true, but it was a warning to the fact that like you have to be careful. There's very little. You know, everything's practical in the movie, right? Every single seagull is a real seagull, aside from the seagull that Rob kills, and that's a puppet. We built a lighthouse there, but where there is CG, in one place is getting rid of endless safety cables to keep these guys from falling off of cliffs and falling out of lighthouses and getting swept up by waves. I mean, the first time we went to Cape Horseshoe, there was all these placards of little restroom people, being swept up by waves. So we knew it was the right spot.
But no injuries, everyone was okay.
No one died on.
How did this compare for you? You've done some really physical, intense roles. How did this compare on scale?
I don't know how to answer that question.
I mean, how physically rigorous was this?
It's rigorous. I mean, it's funny. I always feel funny. I can't complain about it, It was the perfect place for making this movie, and it was fun. It was pretty extreme, but it was so, you can't separate that from what we were doing, so it was perfect. It was very cold. When you're walking along, sometimes the wind is so strong that if you're not careful, you'll swept into the water. Really. If you're like walking on a high part, you could get swept into the water. There were plaques there, in memoriam of people that died there, that drowned there. It was cold. What can I tell you?
And you chose to shoot during the coldest time, or one of the colder times of the year.
Well, it needed to look miserable and bleak. So, like all of the pricker bushes that Dafoe's crawling through in his bare feet and underwear are very austere and tell you something about the psychology of these two men, and they work very well. In the summer, they're rose bushes, so that's not going to work.
All right. And tell me about working with Robert. What was the rehearsal period, like your first meeting? How did that
With
go?
this Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
The characters are very different, and I think our processes to arrive at those characters was very different. We have different backgrounds also, and I'm almost, he's my son's age, We're not the same person, so we're going to have different ways to approach the work. Just one thing, for example, we had rehearsal before we started, which was very much for the camera, for us to understand the frame, to understand what was going to happen with the camera, to really block things out so we could figure out how to be in the visual language. I love that, because I figured practice, and if you don't like it, you throw it away. I never worry about things getting stale, because I think I have a lot of practice because of the theater, of enjoying to doing things. And, my job is to reanimate things, even things that are familiar, and sometimes the most beautiful things come out of repetition. Where Rob, and this is fair, especially considering the characters, he really didn't want to rehearse. He didn't want to show anything until we were rolling. He felt like if he did that, he would get stale. And he felt like he had a huge stake in trying to surprise himself. I do too, but my way of doing that is different. His character is also very reactive, and the audience is with him. They see the story through him. Particularly at the beginning, I have to drive more. I have the majority of the text, and I'm acting upon him. So that's not something you can wait for to see how you feel. You got to have a kind of plan, and And you got to be flexible enough to change it if you have to. But you got to know that text, you got to know the music of that text, and you got to have a strategy because you're driving. So it's different. But I think the two roles are structured so well and are complement each other so well that kind of different way of working actually enhanced a kind of tension that worked in the movie. But having said that, I can honestly say, and I'm not just being polite here, you know, I didn't know Rob until after we shot the movie. And it wasn't a crazy method thing. It was just cold, and we're not hanging around, you know. Every day, it's just the two of us, and at the end of the day, you get warm. I go to my little fisherman shack and start a fire. I don't know where he goes. So, loving? Not loving.
Loving seals, maybe.
So, yeah, I guess that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. I find this very fascinating. I mean, it had to have been an unusual shoot. I mean, it's an unusual movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, I like now that we've done press and sort of rewritten history with fond memories, it's all very nice. But when I was editing the movie and I would think about production, I would get sick to my stomach. You know, I mean, it was difficult and it was tense. I truly did have fun every day, and that's not just what I've been telling myself in press. Like I did, and working with these two, working with these two fine actors. It's but you know, Willem went to his fisherman's cottage and lit a fire, and I went to my hotel room and had a little bourbon and cried. You know?
So we first met, and I was fascinated with your breakout goat from the first movie, Witch, Black Phillip, and your stories about the goat really made me laugh, even though they caused you a lot of pain and physical pain. The goat.
They caused Ralph Einstein physical pain. They caused me psychological pain. Yeah.
Yeah, the goat would kick the actor in the stomach.
He recently was doing a movie where he was playing a knight, and he couldn't, and his injuries from the goat were acting up so badly that he couldn't perform, and he had to have surgery.
I'm sorry to laugh. Yeah, but the goat was amazing and was another star of the film. And now you've made a start on another animal, this one-eyed seagull. So my first question is, did you want a one-eyed seagull, or that was the best audition, was the one-eyed seagull?
Yeah, this is my brother's fault, because after Black Phillip, I really didn't want to have like a major animal character. I did want the storm to be caused by killing a seabird, and animals are important in folktales and fairy tales because, you know, we're all part of some kind of urban intelligentsia, whether we want to be or not. But, you know, in the olden days, like, we were all around animals all the time, so they were going to be part of the folklore. But I didn't want him to be a lead character. But my brother wrote these really great scenes with this one-eyed seagull, and I thought, all right, you win. But I didn't. Now, if I have animals in my movies, I'm researching, like, are they legal in the countries that I want to shoot in? Like, can they be trained? Blah, 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 blah. We didn't do any of that. And so we were really terrified because we didn't know how we were going to pull this off. But thankfully, one of our executive producers, Chris Columbus, called on the owls of Harry Potter to tell us where we could find seagulls, and there were 3 trained seagulls in the UK, classically trained British actors. But really, these birds, they were birds that were injured in the wild and were rehabilitated, and then couldn't survive in the wild anymore. So being trained to do stuff keeps them happy, keeps them going. So they were incredibly game to work on on this movie. I mean, not that they knew we were working on the movie, but they do. Like I'm excited, and I get food if I fly in a windowsill, tap in a window 3 times, and fly off the windowsill.
Amazing. And so the eye.
This all sounds very familiar to me.
The eye was done with makeup, or how did you do the eye?
I can't divulge all my secrets,
All right.
but you know, you can probably figure it out.
Maybe. CGI. Your soliloquy is amazing. I mean, you have many, but there's one really amazing one. So the language in the whole film is so beautiful. I just love it, and I love all the terms and the wiki and all that stuff. So how did you land on this dialogue, and how did you master that soliloquy? How long did it take you?
So that kind of faux Shakespearean, faux Miltonian stuff I can just kind of do now. It's not a very useful skill to have, but because of The Witch and some other stuff and my personal interest, I can kind of do that. But the everyday dialects of the 2 characters was very difficult. My brother and I, because it's New England and the period, like the first book you're going to open up again is Moby Dick. You're going to check out Melville. And then we went across the pond to Coleridge and Stevenson and other usual suspects, and Lighthouse Keepers' journals and interviews with lumberjacks and blah, 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 blah. But then we came across the work of Sarah Orne Jewett, who is a woman who was from the good old state of Maine, writing in this period. And she interviewed sailors and seamen and farmers, and she wrote her stories in dialect phonetically. So it was really her work that was that enabled me and my brother to do these dialects authentically. And then my wife found a dissertation by a woman named Evelyn Starr Cutler, who that was on the dialect work of Sarah Orne Jewett, and she broke down the dialects and gave us rules. So we could say, okay, these 7 things need to be consistent with Willem, these 12 things need to be consistent with Rob, and that was, I mean, that was incredibly helpful. So then, you know, Rob's accent to go with his dialect is clearly an old-timey New England accent, and Willem's is more theoretical. You know, the rhotic, hard-R pirate business existed in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia in the period. Did it exist in Maine? I don't know. But when you read this stuff, I mean, you can take it over from here.
You know, you read this stuff and you try to, first of all, you try to link the images and you try to express what the speech is trying to convey. You try to use it like an action. Usually it's either berating him in a way with relish, with these beautiful images. So the first thing you try to do is find the rhythm. You try to find the how everything hangs together. Then you find out where you can take a breath. Then, once you approach that, then you start to think where to place your intention. So that all kind of works together, and then you find the tone. And they're fun things to do because they're so tangible. You can really, you know, get your hands on them and wrestle with them. And then always you have this thing of, you know, putting them into use. They have to work within the scene, which is probably the most difficult part, so you don't make it just a show, so it doesn't stand out as just kind of a party piece, as a monologue. So that is just practice, and you know, it's like singing a song on some level. And then once you know the lyrics and once you know the music, that takes you to the meaning. And then when you get the situation, you have to enact it, that's the pleasure of performing. It propels you to a place that, you know, that you can't design. So it's really through the writing. It's about the writing leads you to a place.
And the buried alive scene, that's so disturbing to watch. It looked like real dirt, was it?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay.
Well, that was very disturbing.
And to experience that, just tell me a bit about filming that.
Well, it's you know, you get help. Not a lot of pretending there. Try talking when people are throwing dirt on you. And you're laying in cold water, and the soil is just wicking out every bit of heat in your body. So in a very short time, yeah, it's pretty miserable. But then, of course, you know that's not forever. And you're, yeah, it's real. I mean, and you're also like, you're there, you're thinking about the text, you're thinking about hanging that together, you're thinking about lots of things. So you can kind of take it. There's no choice, you know, that puts you in the place for the scene. But yeah, not pleasant at all.
Well, you've been nominated for Oscars for the past 2 years, and I hope you've earned one for this one, so I hope you get another one. That was pretty much it. That's it. Thank you. That was great, guys.
Thank you.